What's up YouTube, it's Ferg Tactical. Today we're going to be reviewing the 43X and 48. Well, we're going to be comparing them because I just did two videos on these guns. I reviewed this one and this one. Now I kind of wanted to compare them in one video all together and kind of push in the right direction of which one you may want to buy. This is my brother-in-law's gun, this is my girl's gun, and honestly both guns are very solid. So if you're, having an issue of trying to see which one's more reliable, they're both very reliable guns. I'm gonna kind of talk about the pros and cons of why you may want one over the other. So for starters, let's just assume that they're both in the same configuration, obviously. So the 48 and the 43X have the same exact frame. So as you can see here, actually, let me do it this way. So as you can see here, these guns have exactly the same frame. They have the same sights. They have the same backplate. I mean, granted, this one's aftermarket, but same exact dimensions in terms of thickness, in terms of height, in terms of length on the grip. The only difference between these guns is the barrel. So you might ask, okay, so Glock's really known for like being modular and making the same shit over and over in just different forms, as a lot of people say. But honestly, I think these guns do fit two different niches, really. Like, this one to me shines in concealed carry. So this is my girlfriend's gun, and ironically this 43X is marketed more towards women, even though I think this grip is a bit long for what most women wear. So she does actually carry it in a bag. It's a self-defense bag. If you want to know what it is, I can drop it in the comments. I'm not going to really talk about it here because I feel like bags give you a tactical disadvantage. I personally like having the gun on my person. If I do have a gun in a bag, I do have one on me as well typically. But if you're gonna buy one of these two guns, I really suggest buying a MOS version. They're not much more expensive. You do get a rail cut and you get an optics cut. So that would be my one thing. In terms of upgrades for these guns, what you probably want to do is upgrade the sights because they do come with the crappy Glock sights. But other than that, you don't really need to do much for a carry gun wise. Maybe a light, maybe an optic if you wanted, and sights. But aside from that, in terms of carry, you don't really need to do that much. So as you can see here, these guns are different in terms of barrel length. So there's about like another inch or so in the barrel. I'll put on the screen the differences in size, so I'm not sure off the top of my head. I think the 43X is like 3.4 inches. I think this one's like 4 or just under, something like that, but I'll put it on the screen. So like I said, as you can see, frame's the exact same size. The barrel is a little bit longer on the 48, but that's about it. Now, the 43X is a bit snappy. There are a lot of first-time shooters I take to the range or people looking to buy their first gun that want the 43X, and I take them to shoot it. They don't like it very much because it's snappy compared to some of the other bigger guns. I personally used to carry a 45 ACP Glock 30, and I was carrying for a bit my Gen 4 Glock 22, which is a 40 cal. Now I carry a CZ P10C. But I do train quite a bit, and I've gotten used to shooting bigger caliber guns, so this is not bad to me. It shoots pretty flat. But between the two, you can honestly feel the difference in recoil. The 48, you can feel the extra mass in the slide, like reciprocating when you're shooting it. You kind of feel it a little more sluggish, in my opinion at least. But you can feel the difference in mass and barrel length. But the 43X is a bit more snappy when you shoot them side by side. The 43 does have a bit more kick in terms of that. So here's where I think they would shine. If you are a bigger person, you don't have a problem concealing a little extra barrel length, that's fine. Personally, I'm 5'7", but my body's kind of weird. I have big hands for my size. And I'm also kind of wide like for my body, so I can carry larger guns, which like I said, I carried a Glock 22 for a while. I carried a Glock 30 with a Glock 21 mag and a +4 on that, and I was able to conceal it really well. So these guns are really easy for me to conceal. Some people, I guess, not so much, but if you don't have a problem with the length on the barrel, I would suggest a 48 if you're new to shooting, because that's going to honestly shoot a lot better for you just due to the extra length on the barrel and a little bit extra weight. A lot of people really end up shying away from this gun when they shoot it for the first time if they're new to guns, because it's snappier than like something they may like, especially if you don't have the best shooting fundamentals. Now, in terms of both of these guns, you can get the Shield Arms mags, you can get the Palmetto State Armory mags that hold 15 rounds. Holster availability for both of them is very prevalent, so if you decide not to get an MOS edition and you want to get something that you can still get to fit a light that is on a non-MOS Glock, you can. When comparing both of them, you may wonder, if they're so similar, what are the benefits of one or the other? Or what are the roles one does better than over the other? The 43X is naturally, because the barrel is shorter, is going to be a better concealed carry piece. The 48, you might want to use it more for like home defense or something like competition shooting. If you would use this for competition shooting, you can. Probably recommend something different, but the longer sight radius would help with, you know, making more accurate shots. But honestly, they're both very accurate guns, and I think they can kind of do both roles, be it just a range toy, home defense gun, carry gun. You can kind of do it all with this gun. Personally, because I have a much wider array and I live in Florida, so I can carry guns with higher capacity. I like carrying full-size guns, or at the lowest, like a compact gun, but this is a bit too small for my liking for carry in most cases, aside from like jogging. But they are very light. You can definitely make this a home defense weapon. You can trick these out if you want to. You could conceal carry both of them perfectly fine. But overall, I mean, they're both great guns. They're both great options. I would probably steer most people in the direction of the 48 over the 43X personally, just because this one is easier to shoot. But that aside, like, subscribe, comment, let me know if you have any more questions about the two. And yeah.